Hello, welcome back. This is Ed with the Pluchar Group, and I'm here with another real estate mini lesson. Today we're talking about buyer expenses. Welcome back, and today I want to talk to you about specifically the out-of-pocket buyer expenses that you'll pay when you're going to buy a home. So the fun part is, getting out, looking at homes, comparing notes, and settling on the house that you like. And then we get to that point, and a lot of buyers will say, "Well, okay, what's next? How do we make the offer? How does this all work?" One of the things I have to introduce either before then or at that point, if we haven't talked about it yet, is your buyer expenses. So the three main expenses that are paid out of pocket before closing are the earnest money, the inspection, and the appraisal. So the earnest money is usually 1% of whatever the purchase price is, and then I always round down. So if it's 230, we're going to round down to 230,000. We're going to round down to $2,000 will be your earnest money deposit. That goes into a specially designated, regulated account. It's not going to be spent by anybody, and it just sits there typically until closing day. It comes back to you as a credit on closing day. So you don't lose that money by making the deposit. You get it back under three circumstances. One is the closing. Two is if you do the inspection and you say, this house is a wreck, we're not buying it, you get the money back in that situation. And then finally, if you apply for the loan and you can't get the loan for some reason, you lose your job or whatever it may be, then you're going to get the earnest money back for that. The contrary reason is if you wake up one day and you're like, just don't like this house, or I saw one down the street, I like it better, then the seller is likely to contest the earnest money and want to keep it because they've put this time and effort into their side of the deal. They've lost market time. Meanwhile, you've broken the contract. So in that circumstance, the seller is likely to contest it, likely to get it, but all other circumstances, you're likely to keep it. Second is the inspection. That's an out-of-pocket cost you're paying at the time of service, so it's not saved for the closing day. You got to pay the inspector right away. Third is the appraisal fee, which works in a similar way. The appraiser's going out, they're giving you a service, at that time, you got to pay them at that time. This is done through your lender. So your lender's going to order appraisal. You're going to pay through the lender to get that appraisal done. And one quick tip for you is we recommend not paying the appraisal fee until the inspection is resolved. Because here's what happens. If you pay that appraisal fee now and you do the inspection and then you find out there's so much wrong with it and you're going to cancel the contract, do the inspection, you get your earnest money back. You will not get that appraisal fee back because you've already paid it, they keep it. So it's always a good idea to settle any inspection issues, decide you're still definitely going to buy this house, and then go ahead and make that purchase of the appraisal order and go from there. If you have any other questions about buyer expenses and how the purchase process works, please give me a call, email, text me. The call is 815-931-2279. Thanks. Welcome back. This is Ed Pluchar with another real estate mini lesson. We're doing mortgage questions. So I brought in an expert mortgage lender, Eric Marcotte. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, Eric Marcotte, People's Bank Associate Vice President. Been doing mortgages for 16, 17 years. So hopefully we can get all your questions answered and get you on the right path.
I have zero in the bank. Can I buy a house?
You can still buy a house with no money in the bank. You can get gifts from family. That is in the form of a check given from an immediate family member to put into your bank. We can use that as your own funds with proper documentation. If you have a 401k, IRA, retirement account assets you can withdraw from, that's a good resource too. It's kind of what it's there for. These retirement assets are for the major purchases of your life, like buying a home. If you can get 1,000 in the bank, maybe a little bit more, we could always try to get you a grant too. Illinois offers some great grants for first-time home buyers. I'm sure other states do as well. So there are some other resources out there to utilize too if you have very little money in the bank.
You were saying Lake County also does in Indiana?
Lake County, Indiana, and some other municipalities in Indiana do have grant programs as well. They usually fund near the start of the year and kind of get used up towards the fall. So keep that in mind if you want to apply for one of these grants.
Earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Okay.